All right, I want to start by giving all glory and praises unto the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, and Brakatah Yahweh Shai. We give all glory and praises unto his holy and powerful name, Yahweh being the Father, and Yahweh Shai being his only begotten Son, his brother Malachi, coming at you again through the spirit power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, coming in the way of the Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Show Ramah, which is the Holy Spirit of truth, giving double honors to the apostles of great millstone, who do real from whom I learned the truth. Like I said before, through spirit is brother Malachi Salakia. And I just want to do a real quick video going into the recent things going on surrounding going into the Taliban attacks and going into the 13 Marine soldiers that were put to death through the spirit by, I believe, a rogue, quote unquote, Taliban bomb. But through the spirit, it could all be a smoke and mirror set up, to ultimately cause a certain spirit or agenda to be continue to be pushed in the earth, for Esau to continue to try to forward his wicked agenda within the earth. But we know that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, like it says, I believe in Job 14, that the Lord was going to disappoint his enterprise, as he continues to seek forth to put it or to establish his new world order, ultimately trying to MOTB, get that within your skin, get that within your hand, get that within your left hand or within your forehead, But nonetheless, I wanted to chime in and get some scriptures, going into the fall of Babylon, going into the incompetence and how the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is bringing this place down low through the spirit, first off and foremost through the head. The president would be the Caesar, of this time, through the spirit, even though the president in and of itself right now is nothing more than a figurehead, nothing more than a puppet to be used to corral the people. But the people that are behind him will really be the people that are over him will really be the ones that are in control of the 13 ruling class blood families, going into the Rothschilds, the Dubenheimers, the Gettys, the Rockefellers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, man, going into that wicked line of Edomites, that the Lord said was going to be in the rulership of the earth until the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua came back. It says that in Second Esdras, the 6th chapter, for Esau, roughly paraphrasing, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that, follows after it. So we're finna come into power as Esau Edom in these last days, where we are currently, or is finna fall out of power, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is finna send back his son to rid them out of this earth and put them in slavery, as a judgment for all their atrocities and bloodshed and transgressions against the Lord and his people. Being the children of Israel, consisting of you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans who need to return unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua before ultimate destruction. All right, because Esau's kingdom is falling right before your eyes. All right, and you got two options. You can either fall with it, or you can latch on to the strong tower that is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. Now, this is a video real quick. It says media can no longer hide Joe Biden's pure incompetence because this man is a fool. All right, and I want to do this video real quick, not belonging to too much time, just touch on and get some real quick precepts and get out of here. But nonetheless, I got the spirit when it said Joe Biden's pure incompetence. The whole America in and of itself, Babylon in and of itself, Babylon going into that word goes back into confusion, Babal. All right, going back into a mixture. All right, because this place is nothing more than a mixture of many diverse people, nations, and all types of false idols and religions mixed into one. All right, trying to come under the one conglomerate of that we are American. Onto that same Tower of Babel type spirit. But all this place is nothing but confusion on top of each other. Everything's upside down. Like it says in, I believe, Isaiah, roughly paraphrasing the 26th chapter, things are turned upside down. All right. Okay. It says media can no longer hide Joe Biden's pure incompetence, man. But through the spirit, this place is confusion. This place is incompetent. Everyone that's outside of this knowledge and wisdom and understanding in this place known as Babylon the Great and wherever the various Israelites are scattered, the hopeful elect, this place is in pure confusion, man. All right. Because the leaders of this earth, okay, are wicked, man. Okay, and they push forth wickedness and they put forth confusion, man. All right, and therefore the people are confused, man. The people are incompetent, man. All right, the people are lacking in understanding and knowledge, man. The scripture is saying, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. There's no more bigger people that are incompetent than Jake. Jake is 100% incompetent, man. All right, they don't know. They have a lack of understanding. All right, and then you got your regular everyday Edomite or your regular everyday Moabite or your regular everyday heathen. They don't know nothing. They don't know what's going on through the spirit. They're incompetent, man. So of course the president or the figurehead or the quote unquote leader, all right, is a fool, man. The Lord is bringing this place down, all right, spiritually before our eyes and showing the nations, okay, as well as us, that this place is fallen, man. And so your hope shouldn't be in the shadow of Egypt, but it should be in the protection, and to be in the secret place of the Most High, which is what? This truth, like it says in Psalms 91. But I ain't gonna belong to too much time. I just want to bring those points out through the spirit. I'm gonna let the video play, and I'm gonna get my respective precepts, and Yahweh willing, through the spirit and probably Yahweh Shema shall just be an edifying lesson onto the body. All right, so let's play the video.
We just have to remain steadfast. Steadfast. We will complete our mission, and we will continue after our troops have withdrawn to find means by which we can find any American who wishes to get out of Afghanistan. We will find them and we will get them out. Ladies and gentlemen, they gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
He couldn't even deliver a coherent, prepared statement for a minute. And he blurts out that he has to go to the person he was instructed to call on. This is the leader of the free world. They tell him who to call on. This is how he runs press conferences, even today, reading from an auto cue and answering questions from pre-approved selected media who have submitted their questions. The bulk of the mainstream media are complicit in this disastrous presidency. They refuse to cover Biden's obvious mental decline during the campaign, refuse to cover the Biden file stories concerning his family's dodgy dealings with China, the Ukraine and other places. And to this day, they give him and his inept administration soft coverage, even as it loses control of the country's southern border, sees inflation soar, and creates a host of energy supply issues. But back to the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. Biden's weakness and poor judgment has led to this carnage. He owns this catastrophe completely.
Salakia. So ultimately, this is all a narrative that's being pushed. Ultimately, it's going to lead up to the MOTB, and it's going to lead up to the mark of the beast. These are things that we know must come to pass. I'm saying, first off and foremost, that the MOTB, before ultimate World War III is going to be established. But this is the narrative and the steps that's being taken to get towards that. All right, so let me go and get some respective precepts going into the fall of this kingdom, man. Not going to belong to too much time, man. All right, but we know that this place is going down, is circling the toilet. All right, this is Jeremiah. Revelations 14:8, it says, "And there fallen of the angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations to drink of the wine of her fornication," man. All right, and that's what's going to ultimately happen unto Babylon, man. This place is going to be destroyed by nuclear ICBM missiles that's going to be fired off, all right, from the various nations with nuclear capabilities, man. They're going to make her desolate. They're going to burn her through the spirit with fire. All right, because the Babylon, being the so-called world national power, or the world global power, when it was in its strength, is now slowly fading. It's declining, and now it's not commanding the same respect that it used to. Because the leaders, okay, and the people that are in control, you know, and the nations are seeing the weakness of this place, you know. So like it once. All right, so let me get another precept here. One moment. All right. No, this is Jeremiah 51 and 9. It says, actually, let me start at 8. It says, Babylon is fallen. Babylon is America, man. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great. All right. That was prophesied to fall, man. This is this kingdom that it's talking about. It wasn't talking about the kingdom back then. All right, but it was talking about this new ancient. So like it was talking about this America being Babylon, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, all right, for the children of Israel, all right, and nothing more than a revived ancient Roman Empire in these last days that the Lord is going to put down, all right, and put Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in rulership, all right. But it says here in the 8th verse, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take balm for her pain, so that she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and lifted up even unto the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness to come, and let us declare in Zion the works of our power, the works of the works like it of the Lord Yahushai, our power. All right, so we're making glory unto the word, because the Lord is bringing this place down. The Lord is putting that incompetent spirit on Joe Biden and ultimately the whole media to spin it, you know. So like, yeah. All right, so we give praise unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord is bringing this place down according to what he said he was going to do, according to the prophecies, man. The scripture said that his word was going to go out and not return unto him void. So a part of that was the fall of this kingdom, man. So let me get a precept. And Isaiah 55:11 says, so shall my word, which is the word, is according to these scriptures, this understanding. All right, the will of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be established here. All right, and a part of that is bringing down Esau Edom's kingdom, man, bringing him out of rulership. All right, so it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, meaningless. It's going to profit, you know, it's going to accomplish that which, you know, the Lord, you know, wants to be done, all right, through the Spirit. But it says, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper whereunto I sent it. All right, so let me get another precept, man, because this place is finished, man. All right, so we got to be in the spirit, knowing to trust in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right, because everybody is trusting, you know, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, heathens and such, are trusting still in the spirit of America, still in the spirit of Egypt, when, you know, your commander-in-chief, you know, is nothing more than a puppet, man, nothing more than a figurehead, man, being controlled, you know, ultimately, man. You know, he said that he was instructed to call, you know, so-and-so, you know, so what, you know, this person is not someone that makes and gives demands and gives orders and, you know, put his foot down. This is a person that, you know, that is demented and fallen from grace and fallen from his strength, that he, you know, that used to be, you know, very firm, you know, that used to be iron strong, but now it's becoming very clay, very muddy, you know, very weak, you know what I'm saying, in the sight of the nations, man. So the nations are gonna hate him. All right, ultimately, man, you know, hate this place, you know, known as Babylon the Great. So this is Revelation 17:16. It says, and the 10 horn which thou sawest upon the beast being NATO and the EU. All right, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate, All right, so the 10 horns, which are the allied nations with Babylon, are gonna also fire on Babylon and make her desolate, man. According to the scriptures, their own allies of Babylon, aka America, are gonna turn on them. All right, and fire missiles and fire nuclear ICBM, missiles. Okay, on Babylon. All right, it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall make the whore Babylon, and shall make her desolate and naked. All right, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That fire is a representation of the nuclear ICBM destruction. It says, for the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill His will. All right, aka meaning there is no free will. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is gonna cause these heathens and these others round about to consent to His will, and a part of His will is destroying Babylon the Great. All right, to make this place a land, to make this place most desolate. All right, so He's gonna cause these nations to do what He wants them to do. All right, because the Lord has that ability, He has that power. All right, it says in verse 17, for the Most High have put in their hearts, their minds, to fulfill their lives, to fulfill His will, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast. All right, to be allied with them until the Lord makes them a turn on the beast, is essentially what it's saying, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest in the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, man. So ultimately, man, this place is circling the drain and is going to be ultimately destroyed. All right, so let me get another precept. And let me see here. So like, you bear with me right real quickly. Salaki. Now this is Habakkuk 2, and I'm gonna jump right down to the point, and it's gonna be it. It says Habakkuk 2:6. It says, "Shall not these take up a parable against him?" And these is talking about the other nations, man, because they see that Edom is an unrighteous ruler. He's unfit to rule and be the global power of the earth. So these nations are going to try to make their attempt at being the next global power of the earth. But the next global power of the earth is going to be none other than the children of Israel. And I'm going to bring out another scripture to prove and to verify that point. All right. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." And I was speaking about how weak that this place is looking and appearing unto the nations, and that it actually is this weak, man. So this place is falling, man. It says this in verse 7, shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake, and that shall vex thee, and shall be booties for unto them?" All right, because something that's a booty is something that's a reward, a spoil. All right, so since America has dealt treacherously with other nations, in the past, these other nations, now that they're better equipped, they have missiles, they have more, firepower, they're gonna try to get their lick back. They're gonna try to get America back for how they were dealt with in the past. All right, so America is gonna become a spoil, unto these nations, man. All right, it says in verse 8, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for violence of the land, and the city, and all that dwell therein. It says in verse 9, so this is payback. This is a recompense that the Lord is going to bestow upon Esau, Edom in these last days, man. All right. But it says in verse 9, woe unto him that coveteth and evil, and coveteth to his house, that he may lay his nest up on high, and that he may be delivered from the power of evil. All right. It says in verse 10, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, meaning putting to death many people for your own gain. All right, through the spirit, because that's how Esau, Edom was going to rule and have rulership of things. They were going to rule by the sword. It speaks about that in Genesis, the 25th chapter, going into the blessing that Isaac gave unto Esau, Edom, that he was going to be a man, essentially a man of war, to rule by the sword. All right, to rape, rob, and murder, to get ahead. Essentially, it's Esau, Edom's BMO, or BWO, body of work. It says in verse 11, for the stone shall cry out the wall, and the beams out of the timber shall answer. Woe unto him that buildeth a town. Okay, this is the main point that I want to bring out the scripture for anyway. It says in verse 12, woe unto him, which is destruction, which is why this place is going to be destroyed. This place is literally set up, predestinated, created to be destroyed, ultimately, essentially. It says in verse 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. All right, this place, America, was established nothing more than on the bloodshed in the backs of the children of Israel, which are nothing more than the Lord's chosen people. Okay, so consisting of your so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans. All right, this place was established off the rape, rob, and murder of your nation. All right, so that's why, that's one of the reasons, okay, apart from other transgressions of Esau, Edom, that this place is going to be destroyed. It says, woe unto him that buildeth a town with blood. All right, and we were stolen, we were raped, we were robbed to be brought over here to build up this place. That's why America essentially was so great at one point in time, because they had free slave labor to on the back end to build up this place, man. All right, you don't got to pay the slaves nothing. You just got to keep them fed, barely, and mobile, so they can continue to work and build up your establishment. All right, but that's how this place was established, man. Off rape, rob, and murder of Gad, of Jake, of both of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, man. All right, so with all that being said, that's all I wanted to bring out in regards to that. But I want one more precept in Daniel, the 4th chapter, going into how the Lord's going to establish a kingdom that's never going to fall. Because that is going to be the next superpower that the world is going to witness. As America falls and continue to fall further and further into decline, then the Lord is gonna put Yahweh Shai into rulership, man. So let me just go and get that precept real quick. It's probably in Daniel's, I believe it's in Daniel's. I guess I can bring this precept out right here. Because even back then, during ancient times, various heathen kings and such knew the power of Israel. They knew that the Lord Yahweh Shai of the power of Israel, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, was responsible for everything. They knew that the power of Israel was the one that was the real power. That established the nation of Israel, that did all these wonderful works and protected Daniel and his chosen from danger, man. And the heathen understood these things back then. The heathen don't reverence the Lord and honor him now, but they will once the Lord Yahweh Shai allows us to put them in slavery you know, all 17 nations outside of the children of Israel, you know, going into slavery, thus saith the Lord. You know, but the heathen back during this time understood to fear Yahweh, you know, and his power, you know, through his servants, man. So anyway, and it says here, the 25th chapter, then King Darius, you know, who was a heathen, and then King Darius wrote unto all the people and nations and languages that dwell in the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble in fear before the power of Daniel. And who is the power of Daniel? Yahweh Shai, the Lord Yahweh. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That's what the power was. But Darius, being a heathen king, he understood this. You know, even though he was a heathen, he understood the power that allowed him to be king over the earth. He understood that it was not by his own means that he was set up, and that he could be brought down as well. Because the Lord is the one that establishes kingdoms, and the Lord is the one that brings down kingdoms, man. And now we're in ultimately a time where the kingdom of Esau, Edom, is finna be brought down low and to be destroyed, and it's finna be brought up a new kingdom. And that new kingdom is finna be what I'm going into. That's gonna be the kingdom of heaven for us, where we can have rest for our, you know, for all the tribulation that we've been put through. You know, Yahweh willing as the hopeful elect. But reading on, it says, for he is the living power, and it's like it says, tremble and fear before the power of Daniel, for he is the living power. So we have that connection. It says, for he is the living power and steadfast forever. His kingdom, which shall not be destroyed, going into Yahweh Shai's kingdom, man, is not going to be destroyed, man. That's going to be the new global superpower of the world. It's going to be in rulership for eternity. All right. So it says, for he is the living power and steadfast forever. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. It says in verse 21, which we should think about in these last days, okay, as Esau is going to come down having great wrath, you know, because we know if he have but a short time, Revelation 12 and 12, we got to be in the spirit of Daniel being delivered from the lions, man, because that's what, you know, you can spiritually identify Esau as a dragon or a lion or as a fierce beast that he's going to come against, you know, the Lord's anointed. And we can liken ourselves, the children of Israel or the hopeful elect, as unto worms, because we're defenseless. You know, that's what the Lord said. He said that we are a worm, you know, but he said he was going to defend us as well. You know, as Esau comes in that spirit of a dragon, or like as into a wild beast, or like as into a lion, we're going to depend on the Lord to protect us from the jaws or the teeth or the power of Esau Edom by depending on his name, coming and asking for his protection ultimately, man, at the end of the day. It says in verse 27, he delivers and rescueth. He worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in the earth, who have delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. And the Lord is going to deliver us from the power of Esau Edom in these last days as well, just as Daniel was delivered from the lions. All right. So with all that being said, man, I didn't want to make this video too long. It was you know, so yeah, willing, that was edifying. You know, until the next video, I want to say shalom.